Selected resistance. In the initial stages of the struggle, separate campaigns with different specific objectives can be very useful. Such selected campaigns may follow one after the other. Occasionally, two or three might overlap in time. In planning a strategy for selective resistance, it is necessary to identify specific limited issues or grievances that symbolize the general oppression of the dictatorship. Such issues may be the appropriate targets for conducting campaigns to gain intermediary strategic objectives within the overall grand strategy. These intermediary strategic objectives need to be attainable by the current or projected power capacity of the democratic forces. This helps to ensure a series of victories which are good for morale and also contribute to advantageous incremental shifts in power relations for the long-term struggle. Selected resistance strategies should concentrate primarily on specific social, economic, or political issues. These may be chosen in order to keep some part of the social and political system out of the dictator's control, to regain control of some part currently controlled by the dictators, or to deny the dictators a particular objective. If possible, the campaign of selective resistance should also strike at one weakness or more of the dictatorship, as already discussed. Thereby, Democrats can make the greatest possible impact with their available power capacity.
Symbolic challenge. At the beginning of a new campaign to undermine the dictatorship, the first, more specifically political actions may be limited in scope. They should be designed in part to test and influence the mood of the population and to prepare them for continuing struggle through non-cooperation and political defiance. The initial action is likely to take the form of symbolic protest or may be a symbolic act of limited or temporary non-cooperation. If the number of persons willing to act is small, then the initial act might, for example, involve placing flowers at a place of symbolic importance. On the other hand, if the number of persons willing to act is very large, then a 5-minute halt to all activities or several minutes of silence might be used. In other situations, a few individuals might undertake a hunger strike, a vigil at place of symbolic importance, a brief student boycott of classes, or a temporary sit-in at an important office. Under a dictatorship, these more aggressive actions would most likely be met with harsh repression. Certain symbolic acts, such as physical occupation in front of the dictator's palace or political police headquarters, may involve high risk and are therefore not advisable for initiating a campaign. Initial symbolic protest actions have at times aroused major national and international attention, as the mass street demonstrations in Burma in 1988 or the student occupation and hunger strike in the Tiananmen Square in Beijing in 1989. The high casualty of demonstrators on both of these cases points to the great care strategists must exercise in planning campaigns.